InObscuria!
Welcome back, my friends, to the InObscuria podcast, a podcast where we exhume obscure rock and punk and metal. And we put them in one of three categories: the lost, the forgotten, or the should-have-beens. I'm Kevin Williams. That's Robert Harrison. What's up with you?
And now let's kick it back on over to
Robert Harrison.
for our 5-day weather forecast.
Robert.
Florida man is happy he is not in Florida.
Yeah, your home state's having a little bit of a rainy day.
Getting a good hosing off.
A little rainy day
By the
today.
time everybody's hearing this, it'll be old news. But
It
yeah,
will be.
it
We'll
just-
be on to hurricane number 4 by then.
by then, there's probably a couple more in the Gulf. But yeah, they reminded me of all the fun times when you find out there's a hurricane in the Gulf. You start having to watch the news, and I get made fun of by our friend Chelsea. Yeah, because she can ask me what the weather's like, and I always know, because it's just this time of year. It's a habit to just kind of keep an eye on things. And I'm in Atlanta,
Right?
It doesn't matter, but it's just old habits are hard to come.
It could make its way up here.
Yeah,
it would be a pretty bad
We've
one.
had like a tropical storm. At the worst in Atlanta was a tropical storm alert. Yeah. But down there, you start watching it about a week ahead of time, and it can go anywhere. And so you plan, then you have to start thinking about 3 days ahead of time. Are we going to evacuate? Where are we going to go to? We always had a place at my grandparents' house that was inland, about an hour inland, like very north edge of Florida, near the state line up there. So it was still safer than being on the Gulf. But anyway, are we going to board up the house this time? Well, I don't know. It's only category 2. Oh, and now it's category 3 at the last second. Go grab everything to board the windows. And my dad, very smart man, he had aluminum panels made and had bolts embedded in the house.
Check out the big brain on Brad. You're a smart motherfucker. That's right.
And so we always had...
At any time. You could just throw them up.
And they were numbered. And so you could just... Yeah, it took no time for us to board up the house. And our house was about 15 feet above sea level, where all the other houses were 4 feet above sea level. Right. And so the house is still standing there to this day, where there's a lot of other houses that get rebuilt about every 5 years. So you had that. Do you have enough, gas, all the emergency supplies? Is your generator running? And you go through this whole ordeal. Well, then there's the hurricane. And then there's the fun of coming home. Do you have a house?
Cleaning up.
Yeah, you're driving and you're cutting down trees. Of course, my father being Mr. Impatient, and I'm a carbon copy of him, we would pack the chainsaw with us. So as we came back, he wouldn't wait for the National Guard to clear the roads. No, he was the National Guard. We were cutting down trees and moving them out of the way.
Man, he's just going to cut it himself.
That drive to get home was so strong. It was like, nope, we're just going to leave.
Now, did he keep the wood for firewood? Well, I guess you didn't really need firewood.
No, first of all, it's Florida.
Yeah, you didn't really need it.
But he did have a gas fireplace just for show. And we would, I swear to God, we would open the window and turn on the fireplace in December because he wanted that fire, that, the ambience of a fire, but it was hot still.
Well, I've been cold down there before. We even recorded it.
Yes.
Or I recorded it.
It happens, but it's hard. So you come home, like you don't even know if you have a house. It gets old. This is one of the reasons I'm up in the great white north of Atlanta.
White north,
yeah, the tundra up here that give me
you're a Yankee
3
now.
more months till I start bitching and griping. So just enjoy me not griping, because about December 28th, it starts kicking in.
Well, I'm still bitching and griping because it's still hot.
It's fine. It's down to 88 degrees today.
You're wrong.
It was cool.
You're wrong. It's not fine until it's in the 60s.
When we have the swamp, just on top of last week's episode,
we actually have swamps.
We actually have the swamps of Georgia right now. 2 nights ago, we had the most ungodly amount of rain I've ever seen here. It was probably 1.5 inches of rain in an hour. And so there goes everybody's landscaping. You see the piles of mulch that have washed out into the street, flooded basements. I'm already getting phone calls from friends. And then yesterday, I had another hellacious storm about 8 o'clock at night. I had an event at the firehouse last night, and it was you could tell it was starting to break up, and people were getting ready to leave. They're getting their keys and their coats, and it just opened up, and everybody just stands there like, damn it. If we had left 5 minutes earlier.
Well, I'm looking at my watch now. I'm wondering, it might happen again tonight. You never know.
Oh, that's right. Bring it on. We're good now. But yeah, so last night was our friend had a tree fall on their neighbor's neighbor's house, and I'm
Chainsaw guy?
chained. No, this is Cindy.
Oh.
Our friend Cindy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is like the second tree from her yard that is falling backwards onto the apartments behind her. It's not her fault. She has no liability. But for the second time, a tree has hit the same apartments.
Oh, wow.
It's like they're 2 years apart. They fixed them, and now another tree has fallen. So it's just mayhem around here right now. But it's also kind of like home. So it's a little nostalgic. But
Better than home.
Better
though,
than home
because
because
you're
I don't
not
have to deal
dealing
with all
that.
crap. Yeah.
Now, I noticed on the news, I was looking at some of the folks who had boarded up and they were showing apartments. And some people put up plywood.
Yeah.
Other people didn't do a thing. And other people just put a big X of tape on the window.
Which does nothing. It's old school glass. It keeps it, or it's supposed to keep it from shattering completely if it breaks. But new windows, they're going to just completely shatter. So it's more of like, I'm giving you thoughts and prayers that you're not going to break.
That's just somebody who's like, I really don't want to go to the point of putting up plywood. That just sounds like work. I'm just going to put some tape on the window.
Yeah.
That'll be fine.
And speaking of X's, post hurricanes, like after Katrina and some other places, FEMA and other emergency services come by and put an X on your house, and there's a code of how many people were found, and different parts of the X means you found people alive or you found bodies.
Yeah, I noticed that when they were doing all the footage a few weeks ago of Maui.
Yeah, same thing.
When they would take the camera down the street, all of the cars were tagged.
Yeah,
with different types of X's.
There's a code. And I used to know it, but yeah, it's very gruesome and morbid to see that as you're driving down the road, because once you know the code, you start seeing, oh my God, yep, they found 2 bodies. And what would happen is these people would escape to the attic. Well, you can't get out. They thought,
there's nowhere to go from there.
Let me just go up into the attic and I'll avoid this storm surge. Well, the storm surge keeps coming, and there's no way to get out of the attic once you're in there. And that's how so many people died, because instead of going up to the roof, they went to the attic.
Well, after Robert bums you out.
So that's just our fun talk we have around here right now. So that's the joy of being around a Florida man.
Yeah, after Robert completely depresses you, go listen to Pot of Thunder.
Well,
Cobras
you shouldn't be
and
depressed because you don't live in Florida. You should be happy about that.
Growing Up Rock, Slamfest Podcast, Decibel Geek, A to Z Radio, Metal Up Your Podcast, The Hustle, Disciples of the Watch, Podcast Rock City, Sean Geek and Fast Fret Podcast, State of Amorica, Rock Strikes 10, Potter Than Hell, The Ron Keel Podcast, Shout It Out Loudcast, The Kiss Room, Agents of Rock, Retro Zest Podcast, and don't forget about it, Monty.
Hey, it's Monty.
Monty's Rock.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good. Yeah. I don't even have to edit that one.
No, he just taking his job.
Hopefully he doesn't hear that.
Oh,
okay, so come visit us. InObscuria.com. We're still there. If you go type that in, that's where we are.
Did you pay to renew this?
I did. I just renewed it.
Awesome.
So we're still there.
Because that's how we lost our band website all those years ago. I forgot to renew it.
Yep. Like us, share us. I used to say recommend us, but I don't see that that's an option anymore in Facebook. So just like us and share us in Facebook, Twitter, or I'm sorry, X.
No, call your friend on the phone and say, you know what? Listen to these guys. Yeah. That's even better. Just do that.
And then go online and give us a 5-star review.
Yeah, and then do that.
Don't forget about Instagram.
And send me a sandwich.
And send this sandwich.
Yeah.
Exactly. Speaking of sandwiches.
Yeah.
Any reason for me to hit a certain button? You done any work over there in the old chef's corner upstairs?
I made something that was pretty damn good, but it wasn't worthy of a...
Not worthy.
Nah, it was delicious, but it was
You're going to tease me like that? I made something that was good.
No, it was turkey stew, like a soup, but
Oh, yeah.
It was good. It was it was healthy, and that's why I'm not excited about it.
Okay.
Because it was like, this is a good filler.
You've been doing way too many healthy updates. I need you to change your diet again.
Yeah, I'll let you talk to my doctor. You guys fight it out.
All right, so we mentioned it earlier, but we are coming off another hot week, and I don't like the heat. And I tell you what, after listening to last week's episode,
so good,
our swampy mix of blues and southern goth.
Man, I
loved that episode. I loved editing it and listening to it again.
Well, I can't wait for you to release it so I can listen to it again.
Yeah, it'll be out in just a matter of days from when we're recording this. But, from listening to it and just enjoying it, I felt like, Robert, it's still hot out there. It's still swampy. Our yards are like swamps right now, so we should just continue.
Sure.
We should just go down this path.
Absolutely.
We need to keep our airboat sailing down this path this week. So I went back and I listened to our very first Swamp Things episode. That was episode 87. That was the summer of 2021. And I played a certain German band who you would never think of a swampy.
Did we ever research that to find out there's
band
swamps in Germany?
I'm sure they're bogs, remember?
Oh, that's right, bogs. The alpine bogs.
Maybe, sure.
Way
I like
up high.
It. But we played this German band. They're so damn good. I felt like, you know what? They sort of deserve their own episode. So that's what we're going to do. Episode 194, Grave Mistake, ZODIAC, Shoulda Been Huge. Now, ZODIAC is a band that we've actually played a few times on this show.
So it's going to be a short episode.
Well, no, it's not, because they have some nice long songs and they're nice swampy jams. But we played them 3 times on the show. We played them in episode 9, the worst episode I've ever done. Yes, they were one of the bands I played on that cold night in Florida. So you probably don't remember that one.
No.
Then in episode 87, like I just mentioned, we played them on Swamp Things #1.
Yeah.
And then most recently, we played them on episode 172, which is our Rockin' Pod Wildcard episode. And our friend and lead singer of Lydia's Castle tried to guess if that was the band or not. And she didn't get it right. But nobody got it right,
we didn't care.
except for me. But no, we didn't care at all. Tanya Leanne, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, so we had a ZODIAC song in that game, and so I just love this band. Most people probably reading this when it comes out will not know who they are. Even if you're a fan of the program, you may not remember that we played them, but they're a badass band formed in 2010 from Munster, Germany. Munster. It's just fun to say.
Munster.
And they were formed by, I'm going to try to say this here. I'm not German.
Does it have umlauts?
No, it doesn't, but Munster does.
I know. That's what got me thinking about it.
Okay. Janos.
German?
Janos Rathmer. He was in a band called Long Distance Calling, and he started jamming with this guitar dude named Nick Van Delft.
Oh, that's a great name.
That's a great name. And they decided after jamming, they're like, we need to put together a classic 70s sounding, blues driven, heavy psychedelic band. And I would throw swamp rock and even American Southern rock in there as well with what they do. So they became ZODIAC, and they came on my radar via an Amazon suggestion back in the day, back in 2011, for their first album, A Bit of Devil. And I'm a visual guy, right? So when I got the old suggestion, I looked at the cover and went, yep, I'm going to like that. I know what it is, because it was a visual of a 1960s looking grainy picture of a naked blonde bombshell who was cleverly covering all of her naughty bits. But it had that look to it. It looked kind of occulty, kind of gritty, nasty, like those 60s and 70s biker chick movies. Kind of the vibe it was giving off. So I'm like, this is either going to be like Motorhead or it's just going to be straight up stoner metal. Took a listen to it. And then I saw that song number 3 or 4 was a cover of ZZ Top's Blue Jean Blues. Okay. You don't see that one that often. No. You don't see a lot of people covering ZZ Top on their albums. And sure enough, I listened to it. Was not disappointed. The guitar is fantastic. I think you're going to really dig this dude's guitar. Whole band is tight, but it's really Nick Van Delft. It's his guitar playing and his singing. His vocals are just next level, unique, cool sounding, just cool. You hear his voice like, damn, that's just cool. I wish I sounded like that.
Like the guy from Europe.
That guy?
I've always just thought he had a cool voice. Yeah.
He does have a great voice. What's that guy's name?
That guy. It's that dude.
Joey something.
Joey Europe.
Yes, it's Joey.
It was named after him.
Joey Countdown. Joey Tempesta.
Oh, is that his name?
That's his name.
Okay.
Even better. Even
good.
better than Joey Europe.
I don't know. I'm gonna think about that. I'll let you know later.
So like I said, we've played this band before. They are definitely obscure because they only even broke the German charts once in their career. They're no longer playing, and we'll talk about that. They've kind of come and gone a few times. But, it's hard when you're not top of the charts and you don't have a bunch of money in your pocket. It's hard to keep going sometimes. But
that never stopped us.
Yeah, well, it did. We don't play anymore.
Well, that didn't stop us.
Well, that's true.
It was our drummer.
Memberage.
Yeah, it was members going, you know what? I got to go.
Yeah, you know what? I can make money doing this.
I'm going over there.
Left turn, Clyde.
He got away.
No, this time it's gonna be a 8 bros.
Right turn, Clyde. Right turn, Clyde.
Right turn, Clyde.
Onward.
Or is it right turn, Clyde?
Right. Either way, you're getting off
one
track.
Of those. Yeah, I am again. All right, so let's just jump into ZODIAC. And I never knew that this release was even out there. They did a demo in 2011 that they released at the same time as their first album when I first got into them. Didn't come out until 2012, but I guess this demo is kind of what got them started and what allowed them to continue on with some distribution. So this is their first release, an EP just called Demo 2011, and you're right over there.
I swear I heard myself going, and I went, oh gosh.
Nose sounds.
I didn't realize I was close, but then I heard.
As long as you don't have a whistle, you don't have the old man whistle.
No, cut that out. I don't want. Sometimes I do. That's why I'm very self-conscious of that.
All right. So there's two guitarists in this band, and the second guitarist, Stefan Gall, and the drummer, I'm going to try it again, Janusz. I think it's Janusz.
Well,
Ratmer. That sounds good.
That sounds German.
That sounds German, right?
Yeah. Janusz.
We have German listeners. You guys can just let us know how off we are.
Just send me a voicemail.
We're not from Germany. We don't know. Janusz Ratmer. They spent 8 years together previously in a melodic death metal band called Misery Speaks. Never heard them, but maybe I should go check them out. I'm not really much of a death metal guy, but every once in a while it's all right. So when that band broke up, that's when Ratmer went and jammed with this guy, Nick Van Delft. And that's when he decided, we're going to put together this cool 70s kind of sounding band. And it was Ratmer who persuaded him, like, let's get another guitarist. I know this guy. I've been in band with him for a long time. And it works out because that guy, Stefan Gall, he ends up putting a record label. They just put their own recording space and a record label together, kind of make their own imprint. And like, we're just going to self-produce and we're going to put this stuff out on our own.
These guys are smart.
So that's how you do it. And like I said, we're going to start out with something from this demo that I only got when I finally found the vinyl of this first album. It had some bonus tracks digitally, and it was this demo that I had never heard. So we're going to start out with an epic blues rock masterpiece, according to me, from the demo. It's a longer song, but this gives you everything that ZODIAC started off being and where they ended up. It's just like their whole journey is in this one song. You can just tell what this band's going to be. So we're going to play this song called Upon the Stone.
All that I want is a little time and company. Sure, I will show my heart for you, just please. Don't come too close.
did they lift that ending from? Dun, 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 dun. Oh my God, it's going to bug me the rest of the night.
I hear it too.
Yeah.
It's right on the edge of my
Dun, dun,
consciousness.
dun, 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 dun. It's 70s classic rock.
It is, totally. Is
All
it
right.
Almonds or something like that?
No. Anyway,
Is it that Focus song, Hocus Pocus?
He got away.
No.
God, let's just stop the podcast because we're not going to get anywhere.
Do we need to get the staff back here?
I just
and
completely
do
ruined the
some
rest of the
searching?
podcast because my brain's going to be wandering. So what I was going to say actually was everybody loves a good Venn diagram, don't you?
Sure.
Do you know what a Venn diagram is?
Of course I do.
Okay, tell me.
How do you want...
No, I was joking because normally it's the other way around. But I'm like, yeah, sure, I totally know what you're talking about.
Well, how do you want to explain it?
Well, it's a thing where you got circles and there's the overlapping part. So this band, there's desert rock on one side, a little circle with desert rock in it. Then there's a little circle with swamp rock in it. And then there's a little circle with stoner metal. And then this band is just a perfect little circle that overlaps all three of those. Just
And then there's a
beautifully.
little Pink Floyd hovering,
Well, now see, you're throwing everything off. I had nice symmetry. I
which
designed
is what,
it.
space rock?
Yeah,
Maybe a little
exactly.
space rock.
Yeah, it's a
there,
little bit
too.
of that. There's another little circle with space rock in it, and so it's got like all the just perfectly because that could be desert rock, that could be swamp rock, either way. But the progginess, the slight progginess, it wasn't all that proggy, but just the fact they stopped and started again makes it different than almost all of the stoner metal or swamp rock we've listened to, which is usually just kind of a standard power rock song in and out 3.5 minutes, maybe 4 minutes. So that's what I loved about that. And you and I both discussed the name. It sounded very Floydian, and sure enough,
Yeah.
they live up to it.
And what I loved is you did not get up. You did not get fooled by the false ending.
I almost did. I looked up.
I looked over and like, oh, he's still sitting down. He
Yeah.
knows.
I
they're gonna
looked
keep
up and
going.
I'm like, no, you said Pink Floyd, so I'm just going to wait for it. But then the ending threw me off completely because
We'll figure it out. It'll come to us. Or we can just wait and Steve Coldwell or
yeah,
Jason Kearney or
I think it is
Tony Griggs.
Hocus Pocus.
is it Hocus Pocus?
Hocus
Maybe.
Pocus with Focus.
Yeah, by Focus.
I don't know. Maybe,
Maybe that's it.
We'll leave it out there and let other people figure that out for us. How's that?
I can just keep naming listeners.
Yeah, just, please help. Dear Lord, help us. I've gotten us in a problem. All right. So that I like, and I am looking forward to, once again, listening to a band like this while I'm working on something, because this is the kind of music that helps me just zone out, as you saw, and just let everything else drift away.
That was just from their demo.
That was just from
That was just from the first demo. So they go on to release 5 albums, and we're going to go to the first one. This is the first time that I heard them. It was from this album called A Bit of Devil. It came out in 2012 as well. And my introduction, again, was just via a suggestion AI, telling me that I might like this because I got something else, and they were dead on. I did. I loved it.
Damn algorithms.
And we've already played a couple songs from this album on previous episodes, so I had to pick a different song. And there were 2 songs that I really love, and I thought, you know what, I should look up and see where they gigged, because I don't know that they played the States. I never remember them coming ever that I saw that, I got to go see them live. I assumed they only played in Europe. And sure enough, they played the autumn of 2012 in Europe with a Texas band called The Sword, who we've talked about before, and a band called Spiritual Beggars, who were 2 very similar classic retro-inspired heavy bands. Not quite to the extreme that ZODIAC, to me, they could have literally been lifted from the 70s. But those other bands, Spiritual Beggars is kind of like that too, but very similar bands, all touring. That had to be an amazing show. And the next to the last song is called Coming Home. It's an epic, and it was the one that I really want to play. And it's one that they play when I looked up all the gigs and set list and all that stuff, they always play this song. It is always in the set list. It must be their song. It's
They're
the one.
comfortably numb.
Yeah.
And they're Freebird. They have to play everywhere.
But even the recorded version is over 10 minutes. So
Oh, they're knocking on Marillion's door.
yeah, so I'm like, I just can't go there. So what I thought I would do is play another song that I see that they played on those early tours almost every show. And so we're going to go there instead. Not quite as long. It's not
only-
quite a 10-minute song.
It's only 9.5.
Yeah, exactly. And this is a song called Carnival.
Take a turn, don't you turn around. Double track your future. This change has come. Don't you mind your destination?
I had this whole thing I was going to say about how, we can compare him to Pink Floyd without any of the effects or any of the weird electronic stuff. At the very end, he throws that in. And just
then they launch you in a spaceship at the end.
Blows me out of the water. Son of a bitch. That middle section had a very creamy texture to it. Did you notice that?
Yeah, totally.
Like Ginger Baker and Eric Clapton and the other guy, Bruce Lee.
What the hell did you just say?
Bruce Lee.
Was bass player guy?
Jack Bruce.
Jack Bruce, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Jack Bruce Lee.
That guy. Jack Bruce Lee, whatever, yeah. Nobody remembers him. He's just a bass player.
Yeah.
But yeah, all of that together, for the most part, they did without electronic trickery. They had a little bit of crescendos and a little bit of texture to it, but it was just the rhythm on the guitar does a good lead, but I like how much is going on with his right hand instead of just picking, a lot of heavy strumming. And as I grew up, I started with acoustic for years and then went over to electric. And my electric style was heavy-handed on the strumming of the electric guitar, like a rhythmic pattern instead of just
percussive,
doing lead. Very
almost.
percussive, yeah. Because I used to break strings all the time because I was playing it like an acoustic.
You were used to filling in that void when
Exactly.
you didn't have a band.
Exactly. That's a good way to put it. And I never really changed that for good and bad, but it's just the way it was. And so with this guy, it's reminding me a lot of that because he's got a lot going on with just the hard strumming on the guitar, not just the leads.
But there's still a lot of space overall.
he's
There's
not
a lot
overdoing
of space and a lot of cushion to feel, to let your ears kind of breathe a little bit. Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't be surprised if these guys aren't schooled somewhat.
They're German, of course.
Yeah, but Nick Van Delft, the voice, we haven't said anything about the voice yet, but it doesn't have a huge range, but it's just one of the coolest voices I have ever heard. It's just, there's no other way to explain it to me. It's just cool.
And what's Fonzie like?
Cool.
What?
Cool.
Correctamundo. And that's what we're going to be. We're going to be cool.
I don't know the guy's name. Corrosion of Conformity. What's that guy's name?
Pepper Keenan.
Yeah, so there's comparisons to that constantly because they've got the desert stoner rock kind of thing going on too.
Now, one thing that if you're into Motley Crue, especially their first album, Too Fast for Love, there's something about the end of this song. So that whole coda on this song that we just heard is reminiscent to Take Me to the Top, where it just sort of keeps going with that cool lead. Mick Mars has an awesome lead in Take Me to the Top at the end of that song, and for whatever reason I hear that here. Some people may go, wow, you like really stretching out there, but go back and listen to it. I think you'll hear it.
This came out well after that. So
exactly. These guys were definitely
We've already noticed
by
a couple other riffs that may have been tributes, as we like to call them, not rip-offs, just tributes that they may have snuck in there.
That's how it works.
Exactly. We weren't ashamed of that at all.
No, man. Something rocks, you want to rock
exactly.
with it. Rock like it. So let's move on. The second album is getting ready to be recorded. So that was everything we've heard, they did themselves. That's all self-released, their studio, their production, no outside help whatsoever. After this album, they did a little more touring, and Napalm Records gave them an offer. And so their next album comes out on Napalm Records, which is a very substantial heavy metal label in Europe. Happens to be the new label of The Gems, our favorite ladies, formerly of Thundermother.
Lady friends.
Have signed with Napalm Records.
The pond.
Anyway, they go to Napalm in July of 2013. They've already kind of recorded this thing, but Napalm puts it out for them. And the second album is called A Hiding Place. Came out in October of 2013. And because they now have a label, they did 3 videos. So you can actually go on YouTube and look at the 3 singles that were released. They have videos out there that are pretty damn cool. Not bad videos. Some performance stuff, but they splice it with some cool scenery. And they got some recognition mainly due to the cover that they put on this album. So on the first album, they had a ZZ Top cover, and that got my attention. This album, they do a longer song that's a cover, and I thought about playing this, but I just can't do it to you, Robert, because they covered Neil Young's Cortez the Killer.
You bastard.
So we're not playing it. We're not doing it.
Dave Matthews, or was it? Yeah, it's Dave Matthews.
A lot of people have covered this song.
Yeah, but his is pretty badass. I'll listen to
the
that.
Neil Young. You should go listen to the Neil Young version. It kicks ass.
I think I would hate that the least of his songs. I really do. I think I would hate it. I would hate it, but
it's
not
like heavy
as
Neil
much.
Young. It's a heavy song.
That's okay. Like Keep On Rockin' in the Free World is big hit.
Yeah, exactly.
I only hate it when he starts playing the lead. Like, shut up.
Wow, what is wrong with you, man?
Just put that down.
Neil Young's awesome.
Yeah, but anyway, that's the stuff that I like. It's the.
Do you know what just happened?
What?
Captain Ryan just threw his phone across the room again.
He's out west somewhere.
Oh,
well, actually, by the time he hears this, yeah, he's on his way over
He
to
does
my
not like it when you talk.
He is on the way to my house
Your
right now.
ill will about Neil Young.
It's a 50-minute drive, so I got time to get out of here.
You can put up your hurricane
Except by the time
shutters on your windows.
You know, I do have. When my mother moved out of the house after my father passed away, they were selling it, and I went and took all the hurricane shutters with me, and I'm making art out of them here
that's awesome.
in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm like, the new owners, screw them. They can get their own hurricane shutters. So it's like $800 worth of aluminum. I was like, this is the most methy thing I've ever done, is steal aluminum from my own parents' house.
Okay, so I'm not going to play the Neil Young song, but it is a badass cover, and they do a great live version of it as well. It's on the next album that we're going to talk about. They actually have a live version of it as kind of a bonus track on there. But according to an article I read, so this next album comes out in 2013. They had to cancel a tour in the States. Oh man, this would have been so good. It was with Monster Magnet.
Oh.
But their visas were denied. So instead, they did a European tour.
Denied.
So instead, they had to tour Europe. They toured with Orchid and a band called Blues Pills, who we played on our last Woman Scorned episode, and we really dug them. They were bluesy, killer vocals.
Oh man, I wish I could
kind of
remember
Janis
that.
Joplin-y.
It was like 3 weeks ago, man.
Yeah, it's been over a month.
Yeah,
so I'll give you that.
It's out of current memory then.
Now, I looked on Setlist FM. That's where I go to check out all the old dates and the set list. If somebody just happens to upload them, they get in there. It seemed confusing because it shows that they played a show in Baltimore, Maryland, which I don't think they did. They were probably just on the bill originally, but then they couldn't. But it was Monster Magnet, ZODIAC, and Atlanta's very own Royal Thunder.
Oh my damn.
That would have been an amazing show. Obviously, ZODIAC did not actually come over here, but if that would have been the bill, man, that would have been good.
How do they get their visas denied? Are they felons?
Well, who
terrorists?
Knows? Who knows? Maybe they just, when your last name's Hitler, it's hard to... No, I don't think anybody in there... I don't think anybody had that name. I don't know. Don't know what it is.
That probably comes up in a search, yeah. A filter.
No.
Mrs. Hitler, I'm sorry to say.
Sir, do you really think that mustache is a good idea?
It's not Hitler. It's Hitler.
So here's what's going to happen. I'm not playing the Neil Young song. However, there are 2 songs on this album that are labeled as Part 1 and Part 2. The Part 1 is a short kind of instrumental intro. I'm just going to go ahead and put those together because it's just badass when you listen to them together.
Yeah.
You cool with that?
This is very Boston, one of their number 1 and number 4 play, and the other one, or, Journeys. I can't think of the song now, but it's the, ooh, any way that you want it. Ooh.
Oh, Cool the Engines.
Yeah.
What the hell did you just say?
No, that's not Journey.
Oh, that was Boston.
Thank you for making me look good, though, because I was in
still
a hole.
thinking Boston.
I was in a hole. I was like, wow, I'm really embarrassed. I can't think of the name of that
still
song.
thinking
And
Brad
you
Delp.
just saved my ass. Thank you. I appreciate it. You're a good friend. You're a good friend.
Oh, yeah. I did that on purpose. Sure.
Yeah, take one for the team.
It's been a day, man. It's been a swampy day, and so here's some more swampy music for us.
side, overwhelming winds pull me across and beyond. Things that haunt me, the things that love me, the things that will kill me for sure. And through it all, for the storm will call forever, nevermore. I keep on running now, no way to turn right now. I keep on going now, lost but found, feel somehow. I keep on moving here, no way to turn, I feel. It's just amazing how I feel sold out. I wanna know how my soul brought me on my knees. I wanna know what to do in times like these.
Now I'm just going to sit there for another 5 minutes.
That is just good. Oh my God, that's so good to me.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Really? You like
Love
that?
it. I love it.
I do too. That is a great way to explain desert rock to people, because not all desert rock is like this, but this was so open and airy. Like you're just looking out for you can see for miles. Maybe there's a crested butte.
A butte.
A butte. Booty? No, there's some type of mountain way off in the distance, but it's just open. This music is open. You had me listening to a bass line.
I know.
Kevin Williams, you had me listen to the bass line.
And it was nice and distorted and punchy and right in your face.
And the drums
so
were
good.
just perfectly melded with that.
I know it's a jammier song, but still, I feel like in 2013, if you would have thrown this on any surviving classic rock radio stations, anybody who loves that classic 70s, 80s stuff would just, their jaws would be on the floor.
But it was not too jammy. Normally we use the word jammy to describe bands that kind of...
I'm saying that meaning a
on.
longer song that has builds.
But it was perfect for me. It did not lose my interest at all. In fact, that was one I was like, yeah, keep going a little bit more.
The bluesy leads, I don't know where you are because I know he's your favorite guitarist of all time, but I hear the David Gilmour influence that this guy's playing all over the place.
Oh, man. Oh, Jesus.
Did I do it? Did I go there?
Blasphemy. You're not supposed to mention his name.
No, you're not hearing it? Oh, man, I hear it.
No, I can't. Yeah, it's hard for me to compare him to anybody. I'm going to say that it's close.
Okay. I'm just saying I hear the influence.
He's on a pedestal that I know. I'm not even going to get close to.
I know who
you know me. I'm an idiot.
All right. Well, let's see what you think about this next one. So before releasing their third album, they went on a short Scandinavian tour with another band that we dig called Audrey Horne, who just happened to play this year's Ghost Fest. They did a great job. Yeah, they go on.
Still picking up beer cans from the damn phantoms out there.
Damn wraiths.
Poltergeists.
Yeah, so they do this thing called the Rock Revelation Tour with Audrey Horne, Grand Magus, and the Vintage Caravan, who's a band we've not played, the Vintage Caravan, but I do own 2 of their albums. I think they're from Iceland. You don't know that many bands from Iceland that rock, and these guys, so we'll have to get them at some point.
Sounds like something you would hear at Burning Man. I don't know why that...
the Vintage Caravan.
All my friends are out there right now.
Oh, yeah. That's a whole different kind of thing.
It's better weather there than it is here. Imagine that.
Better meaning?
It's not 120 degrees. It's actually like in the upper 80s to lower 90s, which, keep in mind, I'm using the rabbit ears. It's a dry heat.
Oh, wow.
And it's,
So it must be getting really cold at night, though.
I don't know that. I haven't checked in with that, but last year it was horrible. It was like windstorms the entire week, brutal heat. And so this year the ticket sales weren't the same because people are like, you know what, screw this. And of course, then this year it's just absolutely
pleasant.
Gorgeous.
But you said it was muddy. You said it had been raining. And
2 days before the event, they had actually delayed the opening of the event where people come in to start setting up the art. They delayed that for 2 days because it was a lake again. It's on a dry lake bed. So when it rains
actually
really
does
heavily,
become a lake.
It becomes a lake again, but it's a desert, so it dried up in 2 days, and that keeps the dust down. So I'm kind of like,
it's kind of perfect.
Yeah,
perfect conditions all around.
You never know what the weather's going to be until about 2 days before the event. So you can't wait and go, I don't know if I'm going to go. Let me check the weather. No, you have to show up and be standing in line, and then you go, damn it. It's that year. It's the hot year or it's the dusty year, but this is the in-between where so far everything I've seen, of course, it's only halfway through as we record this that it could change at any minute. But yeah, I'm kind of envious at this point.
Well, to your point, I feel like this band, Zodiac, are the perfect soundtrack for either a hot, humid swamp.
Yeah.
Or just a hot, arid desert.
Either way.
I think it works either way.
It doesn't get you too worked up, but it might put you in a good mood.
Exactly. And there's enough blues in there that you kind of get that backwoods, swampy feel to it as well. So let's get back to their third album here. So they do that tour with those bands that I mentioned, and then they record this album, which I think is probably the pinnacle of their albums for me. It's the most varied. It's the most complex in their catalog. And the drummer even said in an interview that I read that they really try to hit their influences on this album of just all the varied influences. So they try to bring in the Zeppelin, the Pink Floyd, the Thin Lizzy, Stevie Ray Vaughan, the ZZ Top, the Joe Bonamassa. They kind of bring all that together and represent it in various songs. And I think they do a really good job of it. There's so many different types of songs on this album that it was hard to pick one. But I think I got one you're going to like. Again, this is another epic. It's just an epic song. It's a little swampier. It's not quite as upbeat as some of the other ones on this album.
Iron Man.
I dig it. Iron Man? Is that what?
Da 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 da.
Okay, I'm gonna throw it in right here.
I don't know if that's
back
right.
to back.
All of a sudden, it just
see
hit
if
me.
you're
I'm like,
right.
was that it?
He got away.
Son of a bitch, it's killing me, man. You don't understand.
It is Sabbath, isn't it?
Yeah.
If it's not Iron Man, it's another Sabbath. No, I think
Is
you're
it
right.
the breakdown of when it does the little breakdown? Oh my God, my brain is just bizarre.
All right, we'll throw them. We'll throw those two things next to each other. That's all right. No worries. We like to meander here. That's what we do. So in the summer of 2014, they played all of the major European metal festivals, those summer festivals that are probably done by now. We're almost into September here. So I've always wanted to go to one of those. I want to go to Sweden Rock or one of those metal festivals. Wacken.
Fucking A, man. I would go. Let's do that, man.
We should go. We should make that a quest.
We haven't had a midlife crisis in a couple of years.
Exactly. It's time to have another one.
It's been a little bit.
All right, so I'm going to play this epic for you. Just sit back and enjoy. This is called A Penny and a Dead Horse from their album Sonic Child that came out in 2014.
Where have you gone with that pot of gold? Oh, woman, where have you gone? You had to leave me before the break of dawn. Somebody been haunting you, somebody run you down over the yonder, beyond the fields. Someone call your name, oh woman. Where have you gone? Sweet darling, you left me to die alone, with a penny in a dead horse, with a penny in a dead horse, with a penny in a dead horse, with a penny in a dead horse.
son of a bitch. You're going to make me do something that I just a few minutes ago said that I wasn't going to do.
And?
I heard David Gilmour. Damn it.
He was in there, wasn't he?
It wasn't until he switched to the electric slide guitar.
Yeah.
And then the effects were guitar effects, just like Gilmour.
Analog effects that you would turn with your hands.
Yeah, live at Pompeii, sitting there just...
Sitting on the ground.
I spent many an hour in my crappy
I've seen you up
apartment.
there doing that.
Yeah, just...
Even here,
yeah, that was like nostalgia. I got a new effects pedal a couple of years ago that was called the Keeley Dark Side.
It was supposed to be all of
it was
David's
like
sounds
all of the effects into
in
one pedal. They had all the knobs on it, and I blew it up plugging in the wrong DC adapter to it.
Oh, you don't have it anymore?
No, I destroyed it.
Oh, no.
It's just, you plug it in and it just sits there. I can't get it to work. So I'm going to buy another one. But yeah, I had too many adapters sitting there and plugged in one. It didn't work. I'm like, let me plug in another one, not realizing.
Too many volts?
They were different voltages.
Oh, no.
I'm like, son of a bitch. But for a while, it was never any entertainment of making the most god-awful sounds up there, like somebody was summoning demons in my speakeasy upstairs. So yes, that absolutely brought back every bit of that vibe. Such an amazing song that was. I mean, what that track in? 7 minutes?
7 minutes.
7 minutes? Perfect. Perfect.
That's kind of where this band sits. They're kind of in the 7 minute zone, which may have something to do with why more people don't know them, because
that couldn't
not
get radio
everyone
play.
wants to listen to that.
It's too long for the regular rotation, but it's not long enough for the DJ to go take a dump and come back.
Well, I don't even know if they do that anymore. I've never understood the satellite radio complexity of why they can't go further than they do with their song selections. I know there's a lot of internet radio, but those are harder to get established with
the normal Sirius XM. They've got an audience. They've got 150
the big ones.
channels.
Why can't they do whatever they want?
It's still the same
shit.
crap.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're the ones that got me listening to terrestrial radio again. I hated terrestrial radio for that reason. Went to digital, and when, oh my God, after a few years, it's like, it's the same bullshit.
Well, I heard somebody in my office who's, I guess, a centennial, is a young person.
I was wondering what the next name was going to be.
And they were making fun of a millennial, which is it's interesting to see this now. It's interesting to see this. But they were making fun of him because they said something about satellite radio, and they're like, "You listen to satellite radio?" Like that's an old thing now. And
awesome.
Nobody
like
listens
CDs.
to that.
Hey man, come look at my CD collection. Says nobody.
I don't
these
think
days.
they even know what a CD is.
That's awesome. I love that.
They know what a cassette is and
I'm
what
happy
vinyl is.
Being Gen X. It's one of the best things. Like everybody makes fun of everybody except for Gen X is always like, well, don't worry about them. Yeah, we're always just kind of except for them.
We always thought they were morons. So
yeah, whatever. The joke was they were 30 years old at 10 years old. And they're 30 years old at 50 years old. I'm like, yes, that describes me perfectly.
It kind of is us.
Yeah, I had a job. I had a commute at 10 years old. I had my own key to the house. And then
we had to do everything ourselves.
Yeah, everything ourselves. I could
figure it out.
Dinner, whatever. And then at 50, I'm doing stuff that I probably shouldn't be.
Yeah, we were still slackers and didn't want to work.
Yeah, exactly. Go figure all that out. Yeah, we did. We worked our asses off.
But it doesn't mean we wanted to.
We had the image of slackers. Yes. Can't explain that.
Oh, well. So I've played all these amazing songs, and I bet you're wondering, I bet everybody listening is wondering, yeah, but how did they sound live? Could they pull it off? Could they do it live? And in the autumn of 2014, they headlined for the very first time in Germany because Sonic Child in Germany was on the German album charts. They got to number 47 on the German album charts. Now, I don't know really the significance of that because I don't study the German album charts, but still, that's cool. That's cool for them.
We're just going to go with it.
It gets them a headlining tour in their home country that had to be amazing, and they recorded a lot of these for a live album that I'm going to play a song from now, and yeah, they can pull it off live. You're going to see here, this band could bring it. I wish they could bring it to the States, but apparently they couldn't get their visas.
Denied.
So anyway, this is the same year that they finally played Wacken as well. So the mightiest of the mighty metal shows in Germany, and they played it. I bet that had to be amazing for them, just the experience, but also to see them play there when you're getting mostly power metal and black metal and death metal all day long, and some of the old thrash bands, some of the old power metal bands. But this had to be like just a breath of fresh air, along with Danko Jones. You get these two bands, and like, oh, there's a little breather for me.
Breathe. Jeez, look at that. It's great.
I don't have to do the wall of death this time. I can stretch a little bit, take a break. I'm getting kind of hurt.
Take off this sore battle vest for a few minutes. It's all itchy.
Oh, man. So I'm going to play the opening song from the album we just played, Sonic Child, but this is a version of it live. It's also the opening song of the show, and it's just blistering guitar. Turn it up as you're listening to this. As it gets closer to the end in the coda, just go ahead and turn it up, because you're going to want that guitar at the end just to blow your brains out. It's amazing.
Got it.
Swinging on the Run.
Good night. Swinging on the run. Hey, mister. What did you say? Talking here, man. You missed your plane. Give the people what they want. Close the door on your way out. All that's been said and done. Now we can't have none. Creeping up.
Ooh, that was very nice.
I thought you might like that.
That
one.
was very, very, very nice.
Can you imagine seeing that at Wacken after you've seen 15 death metal bands?
Good Lord, that is I'm not going to call it a palate cleanser because that usually means something kind of bland. But it's that you're exactly right. It's the refreshing breeze
The
on a
soul
hot summer
searching.
day. Exactly.
Oh, I just got my soul back.
Yeah, let me just. Oh, Jesus! Wow. Okay, am I really here? Okay. The leads on that wasn't the Gilmore lead. That was the Bonamassa, 5 other blues guitarists.
A little Clapton in there.
Clapton, Robert. Oh God, what's his from Thin Lizzy? Wasn't Robert? Not Robert Johnson.
What the hell did you just say?
No, Robert Johnson was definitely not Thin Lizzy.
I know. I know. I said it wasn't. I'm just saying that I'm stumped on.
Just the Scott Gorham and
Wasn't there one named Robert? Yeah, his later stuff, like in the 90s, was I Still Got the Blues for You? He had a hit with that.
You're talking about Gary Moore.
Gary Moore. God, I'm thinking I got Robert Cray on the brain.
Okay.
It was Gary Moore.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to think of. Gary Moore had that hit in the 90s, had no idea who the guy was, but they were playing that on classic rock radio, and I thought, oh, that's a cool musician. That must be a new guy.
Yeah, some Gary Moore.
That's what it was reminding me of.
Yeah, and that's the first song. That's what they're opening with. And you're like, oh my God, just keep going.
Dude, I'm glad I got a big beer. I don't have to go wait in line anymore.
Yeah. That's like butter on a big slab of toast with some jelly, man. That's some good shit right there.
Slather it up.
Mm-hmm. A biscuit.
Damn it, now I'm hungry.
All right, so they do that. So all of these songs that we've played, they've been very epic, very bluesy. They've all been kind of these building, and they always have this middle section.
Yeah.
The middle. It's not the middle 8 for them. It's like the middle 24.
Yeah.
Where they just go on.
It's as long as most people's pop songs.
So when they got to their 4th album, they decided they were going to be more focused, tighter.
Sure.
Just kind of get back to the hard rock and metal where they started and not meander quite as much because they had done that.
It sounds like me making New Year's resolutions. Oh, yeah, I'm going to go work out every day.
Tighten
go
up.
jogging.
Tighten up.
Yeah, right. Whatever.
So that's basically what they give us on their 5th album called Grain of Soul. It's kind of multiple genres within the hard rock spectrum, kind of stoner metal, kind of grunge in some places, a little bit of alternative. So they're kind of freshening up their sound just a little bit. They released this on July 29th of 2016, and they go on another European tour. And I got this album, I believe, a couple months after it came out because their stuff, if I wanted to get the vinyl, it always was a few months before we actually got it in the States for some reason to when it was released in Europe. But anyway, I get the album, I'm listening to it, and I look on their Facebook, and I see this. This came out in January 30th, 2017. Unfortunately, we don't have good news for you to start off 2017. Due to personal issues within the band, we decided to close this chapter of ZODIAC. We would like to say thank you to all of you. We had a ton of memorable shows in the last 5 years. We met so many cool people who gave us their support. It was a really hard decision for us, but we will keep up the musical activities in a different constellation. So we are looking forward to seeing you guys again soon. We'll keep you posted. ZODIAC.
He got away.
So that was January of 2017. So I literally got the album. I've only listened to it a few times, and then I find out they're no more. They don't exist.
Son of a bitch.
They don't exist anymore. But this album's pretty badass. It is shorter songs. It is punchier. It's a little bit different. And I would have loved to have seen where they would have gone from here. But this is what we got. This is the last album. I'm going to play the final track off of this album. It is the title track, Grain of Soul.
okay, it's shorter, but it still has that epic quality to it. Just a really big song, even though it's not as long.
Yeah, and it definitely owed a little more to the 90s. They brought a little bit of grunginess to that sound. I could almost hear some Alice in Chains in there.
They moved away from the Led Zeppelin and the blues players to now.
Came out in 2016, so they like, oh, we'll just go 20 years this way.
Exactly. Just keep it 20 years at that point, yes.
That's the swan song from their swan song, and it's fitting. It still has the bluesy lead at the end. I don't know why Nick Van Delft is not a guitarist that people talk about. His leads are just fantastic. I mean, there's just so much feeling, so much soul in his playing.
Yeah, there's not a theatrics. There's soul and there's technicality, but not the theatrics.
He rips just a little bit. He rips when he needs to, but it's more about his bends and the way that he gets the emotion out of his fingers. And
that's in the Gilmore category.
Exactly.
That's what I love about him.
It's kind of the singing guitar.
Exactly.
I don't know. They just does it really well. I'm just surprised that more people don't know this band. I'm surprised they didn't get bigger, even in the circles that they ran in.
Well, they're going to be now. They better get ready to get just pennies of residual income coming in from all of us downloading this music, right?
Exactly. Well, so I said I read that in 2017. I thought it was over.
But wait.
There's more. Yes, in November of 2018. This came on Facebook.
Just kidding. Just kidding. We're not breaking up. That was April Fool's.
To make it short, we are back. After the breakup 2 years ago, we ran into each other, had a good talk, and we sort of refused to sign the divorce papers. It just felt right to go back to the rehearsal room and to play the tunes we love, and of course, we've missed you. And so they go back and they start touring again, and they do only shows in Europe again. But I pulled this flyer up off of Facebook. This was a show they played in 2021. I'm just going to read you the bands that they played with and just let you know what we missed here. Glenn Hughes was one of the headliners that night. Also Phil Campbell of Motorhead.
Filthy Phil.
Yes, Phil.
What the hell did you just say?
No, that was Filthy Phil. That was Animal. No, I'm getting confused. There was a bunch of Phils. Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons is the name of his.
Oh, that's not Filthy Phil.
Now you're making me...
I'm making you question
Filthy
me.
Animal was the drummer.
Animal, Muppets.
Filthy
I told you that was my favorite. Never mind.
Phil Campbell was the guitarist.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway.
He was very clean. He had good hygiene.
The guitarist from Motorhead is also headlining this festival. This is in France, by the way, so I'm sure it's beautiful. And then a band that we've played before that we both really liked, it was a Prague metal band called Leprous. They're also playing this festival. Then you have the Night Flight Orchestra.
Oh, we've heard of them.
And then one of those Swedish bands called Heat. You also have Brian Downey, his band, playing only Thin Lizzy stuff. He was the drummer from Thin Lizzy, so playing Thin Lizzy tunes. And then ZODIAC.
Nice lineup.
Wow. Of course, we didn't get any of that. But, if you were there and you saw that in France in 2021 or 2019, whenever this thing happened, had to be amazing. So while I was waiting for their next album, we got this message in 2021 on Facebook. After the pandemic. So they made it through the pandemic because by May of 2021, everybody was kind of like, screw it, we're done.
We're done. Whether or not it was technically over, we were done. You and I were done.
Yeah, May 11th, 2021. Hey friends, as the pandemic hopefully slowly comes to an end, we unfortunately have to inform you due to numerous factors we have decided not to continue. We wish everyone all the best and strength, especially in these crazy times. Thank you all for the support. May our paths cross again on another adventure in the future. Take care.
He got away.
What the hell?
Come on, guys.
Like you break up, you get back together, you break up again, and this is where we're left right now. We don't know what's going on.
I got some good songs out of doing the exact same thing, though. You recall there was some good material coming out of the second breakup.
Yeah, I guess so. But we didn't get another album, so they came back, and before we could get another album, they split up. That's what we have. So I thought, what the hell? I mentioned it earlier in the episode.
Just gonna play it out?
This amazing song.
So
why don't we just play it out?
Play it out, man.
They
Do
play
it.
it every single show
People
that they've ever
can turn
played.
the dial if they want to another station.
You go ahead and you go ahead and fade this out on your own.
Exactly. This is self-service.
Just take your phone.
Just start doing the
slowly
volume.
take the volume down
whenever you want to.
as you get
This
to
is
the
up to you.
8-9 minute mark.
Yeah.
On this
If
song.
you want to hang in there, that's great. I got nothing better to do.
If you want to pull like that band, what was that band? You know, they had that song "I Love It Loud" and it faded out and then it came.
It wasn't
in.
really loud,
but then it came back
yeah.
in and got really loud again. What was her name again?
We like it crescendo-y.
It's been a while. I know. Cheers!
You are seriously going to blow out the microphones. Every time you do that, it gets worse.
There's your kiss. Okay, I'm supposed to back up, aren't
Yeah,
I?
you're supposed to back up.
Oh, well. I don't know these vocal
That's what
techniques.
Mariah Carey does. You see her backing away.
That's right.
When she has the... God.
Yeah. Anyway, if you want to do that on your own, you can do a "I Love It Loud." You can fade it all the way out at like the 8-minute mark,
Yeah.
and then start to slowly fade it back in. It'll still be going.
Or do like them, like pretend you're going to fade it out, and then come back again, and then fade out a second time.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. So we might as well play it. We'll see you next time, folks.
See ya.
Later. This is Coming Home from ZODIAC. They should have been huge. I don't know why they
Motley
weren't.
Crue cover, our favorite.
I'm on my way.
Coming home from a long ride, looking back on a dark night, pass through the valley, winds are whispering my reality was so gone empty, you see. Winds are strong, but I must hold on. It's been a long time. Coming home. I've been riding on a tired horse, my grip is strong. It seems to me all I got is them memories etched upon my soul forevermore. Give me one more day, I surely won't forget the past and it's dead and gone. Keep on doing your thing, keep on standing strong. Hold on, baby, it's been a long ride. coming home, down to my soul, down to the peace of mind. Waiting for life begins, waiting for my everything. On this road can't take no more. All I need, it seems to me, so far away. Won't you help me, please? On this road made of stone, I'll even ride through the fires of hell, out of prison. Oh, got a story to tell. Won't you move on over? Don't say a word. Let me be. I just got to know. Don't be waiting for me, just a waste of time. Ain't coming back, found myself on the borderline. On the borderline, I'm coming home. Lost to be found, found to be lost. I'm just a step away from myself. I'm coming home, down to my soul, down to the